What's up, fellas? Welcome back. Week 3's Pandemic Relief League recap coming to you from my spot in the house. As you might be able to hear, I don't know if I'll be able to drown that out or not. Got my little boy screaming in his room, which is always fun. Those of you that have kids, you understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's jump right into this week 3 madness. We had 3 really close games under 100 points. We had 2 that didn't break the 200 point mark. So all in all, I think we had a pretty good week. We also had, as a result of a victory and defeat, a name change in our league. I'll get to that. I'll refer to them as their name and then their name change after I announce their victory or defeat. So we'll get to that throughout the week. Some clarification on the injured reserve, my take on it. As we discussed in the group chat, I feel that the injured reserve slot is only for players that are going to be out for I think like a couple week period. If not, it's a prolonged period without it being for the season. I know that's, as far as I can tell, that's the way it's worked out so far based on the players that have been out. COVID-19 protocols don't necessarily qualify your player to be put into injured reserve unless they test positive, from what I can see. Obviously, major injuries, John Morant, that also qualifies you to, or qualifies the player to be put into that injured reserve spot. It's just an added feature for this season. It wasn't there last season, which I know is tough because you have players that go down a game or two and they're playing 3 or 4 times in a week. It can really hurt your squad. So that's part of the whole strategy side of this fantasy league, is filling the spots as needed and trying to gain the upper hand on your opponent. So speaking of opponents, like I said, we're going to jump right into this. We're going to go into this week's close call. This week's close call actually goes to Team Jubilee taking on Pistol Pete's, Pedro Pistolero. Team Jubilee squeaked out the victory, 1,294 to 1,261 for Pistol Pete, giving Team Jubilee a 33-point victory, making it this week's close call. This week's biggest loser, Mr. J Nation J. J Nation J had a valiant effort this week. Injuries and COVID protocols and everything hindered him, giving My Hero Academia the victory this week, putting up 1,431 points to J Nation J's 1,235, giving My Hero Academia a 196-point victory. This week's highest point total stings a little bit, but I kept it close. Los Fells, led by Flacco, took me down this week, VGSLVG, by a final score of 1,674. This week's highest point total to 1,580, giving Flacco and Los Fells a 94-point victory. Moving along on the scoreboard this week, we have Game of Thrones taking down Pahrump Raccoons. The Raccoons put up 1,655, coming close to that biggest point total for the week, taking down Game of Thrones 1,471, giving the Raccoons a 184-point victory. Or if I'm not mistaken, Raccoons' first victory of the season. Congratulations to Isaiah. Moving along, Hijos de Black Mamba, or Hijos de Mamba, Los Hijos de Mamba, led by Raul, got their first victory of the season as well, taking down Cali Team Mamba. Now, before this matchup started, or while this matchup was going on, somebody jokingly said in the group chat that the loser should change the Mamba out of their name, and The loser did just that. Los Hijos de Mamba took down Cali Team Mamba, aka from now on to be known as Los Apostolicos, by a final score of 1,451 to 1,396, giving Los Hijos de Mamba their first victory of the season, a 55-point victory. Congratulations to Los Hijos de Mamba. In the East, the top spot goes to Team Jubilee, who's undefeated on the season as of yet, 3-0, taking up the first spot, followed for a tie in second place by Dame of Thrones and Los Feos with a record of 2-1. Bringing up the bottom of the pack so far through week 3 in the standings in the East, Pistol Pete, Vegas, LVG, and J Nation J with a record of 1-2 are all tied for 4th place. In the West, the standings are as follows. My Hero Academia, 3-0 on the season, undefeated as of yet. Followed by the Pahrump Raccoons, 1-2. Los Hijos de Mamba, also 1-2. And in 3rd place and bringing up 10th for the whole league because of the way the weird standings are and everybody's tied. 0-3, Los Apostolicos, formerly known as Cali Team Mamba. We've only been through 3 weeks so far. We've only had 3 matchups. It's going to get interesting. It's a fairly long and tedious season. Please watch your players. Please watch the injury reports, the COVID protocols, and so on and so forth, and we'll all see how it all plays out. You are limited to 7 transactions per week, per matchup. So, that being said, dropping and adding a player counts as 1 transaction, dropping and adding more players, so on and so forth. So you can drop and add up to 7 players, I believe, in a matchup, which is a week. So use them accordingly. Be wise with your transactions. You don't want to get caught on a Sunday having used all your transactions with only 2 or 3 players playing and not being able to make any roster moves because you used them earlier in the week. You can scroll through and line up your matchups throughout the week. For example, today's Monday. You can set your lineup for tomorrow, for Wednesday, for Thursday, for Friday accordingly. You can see which players play on what days. And also, I don't know if it gives you the same who plays on what day throughout the week for who you're picking up and dropping. I know it'll give you for the next day, but I don't know if it'll go beyond that. So you can see, okay, you need a player to fill in a spot on Thursday, and it's Monday today, and you go through the week and you need a spot filled for Thursday. I don't know if it'll give you who's playing on Thursday. So from my experience, it doesn't. It only gives you the next available day. Please stay safe, stay socially distanced. Be careful out there. The world is getting crazier by the minute. Thankfully, we have something as simple, as basic, and as just as easy as basketball and the fantasy basketball league to distract us for even for the slightest of moment to what's going on in the world. I recommend that you guys, this shouldn't take priority over anything, but use it to kind of detach and get away from everything that's going on in this world, and use it to just kind of enjoy something for the time being. There's not a lot of that going on right now, so anything that we can do to kind of just jump into something and enjoy it and use it to distract ourselves, please, by all means, I'm for it, as long as it's legal and you're not hurting anybody. Just take it for what it is. It's an opportunity to we were in the group chat, we're talking trash back and forth, where we're having a good time. Cali Team Mamba, formerly the team formerly known as Cali Team Mamba, now known as Los Apostolicos. That's great that you took it in stride and you had fun with it and you actually decided to change your team name. That's great. We appreciate the diving in and the taking, just just enjoying it and jumping into it. You know what I mean? I know personally I enjoy it, and I think it's great that you actually went through and decided to change your team name. Not a lot of people would have done that, and not a lot of people would have taken that seriously, and I'm glad that you did, and I'm glad that we're going through this season competing against each other. I look forward to when I get the chance to beat you. Play you. Same goes for everybody else. Anybody that's beaten me, I will be looking forward to my revenge so far. So, with that being said, with everything going on, like I said, please be safe, stay safe, keep your family safe. Do everything in your power to just, prevent any bad situations, whether it be COVID, whether it be, some sort of retaliation and violence out there for the stuff that's going on. Just do your best to avoid it as much as possible and stay safe.